shrinkflation coming to strike back. Packet sizes shrinking, prices increasing, and something that shrinkflation may augur well for the margins of FMCG companies. But then beyond just shrinking pack sizes, not increasing prices is something that could add pressure on their business as well. So in the context of inflation, shrinkflation, edible oil up 40% year on year, a 20% import duty on palm oil imports. What do you make of FMCG stocks today, if we can begin, let's say, with Britannia?
So FMCG directionally as an index, I don't think there is a strength because this has been one of the underperformer. And then recently there was ITC, some news was the demerger, and there's one of the reason why the ITC saw some bounce. And now if you specifically talk of the Britannia is seeing a corrections, and the value of 200-day moving average is somewhere close to 4,400 level. So directionally there is no strength. I would not take any fresh buy setup in this trade. So if there is some bounce, if somebody wants to take this bounce as an exit opportunity and play for some decline, that can be one of the trading bets, but not from the positional point of view, I would avoid.
Okay, avoid Britannia is the word coming in. You were talking about ITC, and ITC happens to be in the news not just because of inflation and inflation of food prices, which is a worry, but also the talks of the possible demerger of ITC in the month of Jan. So keeping those news triggers in mind, is there a trade setup for ITC this morning?
ITC, we are keeping a watch on 460 and 480 are the two levels where there is a range kind of a activity which is going on. So ITC being one of the high beta stock from the FMCG space. 480 is the level where it's a multiple resistance are there, and even the call writers are extremely active. So by any chance, if ITC trades above 480, then we can talk about another 20 points kind of a move. That would be the maximum move which I can talk of. But right now we need a confirmation, and that confirmation will follow above 480 marks.
Okay, and if that confirmation comes in, any chance of ITC breaching its 27th September yearly high of about 522? Or do you think those days for ITC are over for the foreseeable future?
It would be a very risky call. I think maximum bounce, I will be talking about another 20 points move from 480. So maybe if data change and if there is extreme buying, then I might change my view. But right now, at this point, I would bet for only 500 if 480 is taken out.
All right, a bet on 500 if it breaches the 480 mark. I want to shift focus now to Nestle, Brijesh. And Nestle, of course, not just the news triggers that we've spoken about. There has been this most favored nation debate with Switzerland. And while some experts believe that the removal of MFN status is not really going to have an impact on the trade between India and Switzerland. But the Nestle India parent being a Swiss company, could there be some trigger which may not augur too well for the stock going forward? We have seen that the stock has been in the red, down almost 20% year-on-year basis, year-to-date basis.
So Nestle on the weekly chart, it is negative, and there is continuous distribution is what I can see in Nestle. And I think this negative bias can stay long till 2100 marks. So I would wait for that levels to be tested, or maybe that levels to be breached. So once it breaks 2100, and then if there is any bottom formation or maybe some volumes getting in the counter, then we might review it. But definitely from this point of view, we'll be talking of 2100. We'll wait for that opportunity to be seen. So as long as we don't see 2100, there can be always a pullback, but then positional bias should be avoided as of now.
All right, a positional call should be avoided on Nestle. Let's talk about one more FMCG stock this morning, and this is Marico. Maru India has done a fairly decent year. In fact, a sharp contrast to Nestle. The stock on a year-to-date basis is up about 19% as we speak right now. So a 100 rupee upside on the year on Marico. Where do you see the stock from here?
Yeah, so this can be one of the stock which is outperforming the index, and the structure is positive. So it has taken a quite good amount of support at 600 level, and right now it's 646. So this momentum can stay long, and then we can talk of 700 on the higher side. That could be the immediate resistance zone. So bias is positive. So somebody wants to take a position or maybe having a position should stay long towards 700 levels.
All right, 700 levels on Marico is what Brijesh is talking about. Well, Brijesh, thank you so much for being here with us on Newsline Live this morning. We will have you back in coming days as well to gauge the mood of the market and advise our viewers on what stocks they should buy on.